Right now, beneath the spinning tires of your car, or along a rusted fence line you pass every single morning, a silent revolution is growing in the dirt. It is a plant that most people mistake for a common weed, a fuzzy nuisance that is routinely sprayed with poison or hacked away by lawnmowers. However, this ignored organism holds a secret that a $30 billion respiratory industry has spent the last century making sure you never think to investigate. It is a plant that was once more valuable than gold to travelers and healers alike, waiting in the ditches for someone to finally notice its worth. You might have heard it called Cowboy Toilet Paper, but its scientific reality is far more sophisticated than its humorous nickname suggests. This is Mullein, and it is perhaps the most powerful natural lung cleansing tool ever placed on this planet. To understand why this plant is such a threat to modern pharmaceutical profits, you have to look back at the people who survived long before a pharmacy existed on every corner. They realized that nature had provided a specialized filter for the human breath, hidden inside the velvety texture of a roadside leaf. 2,000 years ago, Roman soldiers didn't see mullein as a weed. They saw it as a tactical resource. They would harvest the tall, sturdy stalks of the second-year plant, dip them in tallow or beeswax, and light them as torches that could burn for hours in the dampest of caves. They called them hag tapers. But while the Romans were using it for light, the ancient healers of the Mediterranean were using it for life, documenting its ability to soothe the most violent of chest infections and open the airways. The story shifts across the Atlantic to the indigenous people of North America, who had their own deep relationship with this plant. Long before the arrival of synthetic inhalers, Native American tribes like the Cherokee and Hopi recognized that mullein had a unique affinity for the respiratory system. They would often dry the leaves and smoke them, not for recreation, but as a ritualistic medicine to open the airways of those suffering from asthma. The smoke acted as an immediate delivery system for the plant's volatile compounds, forcing the lungs to relax and expel toxins. By the 19th century, mullein had become the primary line of defense against the White Plague, or tuberculosis, especially in Ireland. During a time when there were no antibiotics and a chest infection was often a death sentence, poor families relied on mullein boiled in milk to keep their loved ones breathing. It worked when nothing else did because it didn't just suppress a cough like a modern syrup. It addressed the root cause of the congestion. It was the people's medicine, accessible to anyone with a nearby field, making it the ultimate enemy of an industry that relies on patented solutions. The true genius of mullein lies in its biological engineering, specifically two compounds known as saponins and mucilage. Think of saponins as a natural biological soap for your internal organs. When these compounds enter your system, they work to break down the surface tension of the thick, hardened mucus that lines the lungs of smokers and city dwellers. It liquefies the congestion, making it possible for your body to finally cough it up and clear the pipes. Most modern cough suppressants do the exact opposite by shutting down your urge to cough, which actually keeps the bacteria trapped inside your chest. However, cleaning the lungs is a violent process if you don't have a way to soothe the tissue, and that is where the mucilage comes in. This is a gelatinous substance found within the plant that creates a protective, slippery coating over the delicate mucous membranes of the throat and lungs. As the saponins are breaking up the old debris, the mucilage is coating the raw, inflamed tissue, preventing the scratchy feeling that usually follows a heavy coughing fit. It is a dual-action system. One part of the plant acts as the janitor scrubbing the floors, while the other part acts as the polish, protecting the surface. Despite this incredible chemistry, you will never see a Super Bowl commercial for mullein tea, and the reason is purely economic. You cannot patent a plant that grows for free in a ditch. The respiratory health market is designed around the concept of management, not eradication. If you can clear your own lungs using a plant from your backyard, you stop being a customer for high-priced syrups and daily allergy pills. By rebranding mullein as a useless weed, the industry has successfully disconnected civilization from a 2,000-year-old medical truth that is literally under our feet. If you want to find this plant today, you need to know what you are looking for because mullein is a master of disguise. In its first year, it stays low to the ground as a silver-green rosette of leaves that feel exactly like velvet. In its second year, it sends a massive spike into the air, topped with bright yellow flowers. To use it, you take dried leaves and steep them in water for 15 minutes. However, you must filter the liquid through a very fine cloth or coffee filter. If you don't, the microscopic velvety hairs can irritate your throat, causing the very problem you are trying to solve. Within a short time of consuming the tea, the mullein response begins. You might find yourself coughing more than usual for the first hour, but this is the saponins doing their work. Your body is finally moving the stagnant material that has been sitting in the lower lobes of your lungs for years. It is a mechanical cleaning achieved without a single synthetic chemical or a trip to the pharmacy. The next time you see a tall spike in a roadside ditch, don't look at it as a weed. Look at it as a forgotten monument to human survival. The secret to your next deep breath isn't in a laboratory. It is waiting for you in the dirt. I'll see you in the next one.